And why Thailand? Why did you decide to move here, live here, run the business from here? Why not somewhere else in Asia? Why not France? What advice do you have for anyone who wants to come over here and do what you're doing and live the life that you're living? Hey folks, how's it going? Pete here from Thairishtimes. What's the story? I'm in a different location today because it's been a very, very rainy morning here in Bangkok. We've had about a 2-hour monsoon downpour. It was a rainy morning here. So anyway, today we're going to talk to Antoine. And we're going to ask him, what's he doing over here in Thailand? I'm going to ask him about his lifestyle because he's quite a unique kind of a fella for a 29-year-old guy. You'll see when we get into the interview. Anyway, without further ado, let's go meet Antoine. And check us out on Instagram as well. I never push the Instagram too much. I should be pushing it more. Check us out on Instagram. Check us out on TikTok. And subscribe to the channel. Like, comment, share, and enjoy. Antoine, how you doing?
I'm good, and you, Pete?
Very good. Nice to meet you. Nice for you to do this, get you on the channel, get your story.
Happy to be here, man.
Yeah, man. Tell me where you're from.
I'm from France.
France, okay. And what are you doing over here in Thailand?
Well, I would say I live here because I work online, have a company online, so I can live anywhere I want, and I choose Thailand.
Okay, and what do you do over here in Thailand?
Like, what do you mean, like for my work?
Yeah, what do you do for work, yeah.
And so I have an online company. We sell investment system, particularly in the sector of crypto.
Ah, crypto.
Yeah.
Okay, now you sent me an email when we were going back and forth for the idea for this interview, and you kind of laid out the whole evolution of this business from the very beginning until where you are now. Can you tell us your story, your journey?
Yeah, how it started. Yes, so it started like 7 years ago, something like that. 7 or 8 years ago, I started a blog where I decided to share like everything I was testing in like the new startup world back when I was in France. So I shared like about like startups like Uber and stuff like that. Uber Eats, there was food delivery apps in Paris, and then I started to talk about also new banking system, like, you know, yeah, Revolut and 26 in Europe. There was all this fintech, we call it, and people like really liked that. And then at the beginning I thought like nobody's gonna be interested by this bullshit, like just like talking about how to manage your money and stuff like that. It actually really worked, and then I evolved that into a YouTube channel. Then from the YouTube channel we started to sell also some more like course material to help people to get into like investment, to know what to do and things like that. And then after it evolved to now we're building our own systems that manage your portfolio for yourself.
Well, and you're doing all this from Thailand?
Yeah, you just need a laptop and a Wi-Fi, yeah.
Wow. So I'm not going to ask you how much you're making, but are you doing all right?
Yeah, pretty good, yeah.
Pretty good, yeah?
Better than I thought I could.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You're living like a king over here.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know how we live anywhere here in this world today. Like people watching this interview live better than the king back then, right?
Yeah.
So we have to appreciate that as well. But yeah, I mean in Thailand, yeah, you can spend your money well and have a great service for it. So that's beautiful. Yeah.
And why Thailand? Why did you decide to move here, live here, run the business from here? Why not somewhere else in Asia? Why not France?
Yeah, well, I didn't want it to live in France, so I had a bitter taste a bit about France and how is it to evolve as an entrepreneur there. Because actually when I started my business, it was because my employer back then, I used to work in the luxury sector. They told me, oh yeah, we're going to put you in the e-commerce section twice, and it didn't happen. So I was like, all right, if I want to learn about something and actually do it, I have to do it myself. So that's why I started the blog in the first place. And then when I finished this contract with this employer, my website started to generate some money, and I wanted to travel. I wanted to travel because I spent 2 years in Paris. I say I want to explore a bit. So I said, okay, I'm going to go tour around the world and work on this business at the same time. And then back then I was saying I would travel until I'm bored or until I'm broke. So I didn't get broke, but I started to get bored, and then the place I always came back to was Thailand. And then I don't know, I just love it here, and then we'll see how long I stay. Yeah.
How old are you?
29.
29.
Yeah.
Okay. And are you a single man?
I'm a single man.
So you're single, and you're a good-looking fella. You're a good-looking lad, and you're single over here in Bangkok. What's that life like?
What's It's a good life. It's a good life. It's a life where you have to control yourself. You know, you can't. It's easy to say yes to everything, but you have to learn to say no, and to focus on your mission as well.
Do you drink?
I barely drink.
Barely
I would say no. I would say no. Like maybe one time per month, but that would be just one glass. Yeah.
Wow, so that's quite different for a 29-year-old over here in Bangkok that doesn't drink. So you're mostly focused on business, right?
I would not say so. It's I used to drink a lot, and then before I built my business, I was partying a lot and things like that. And then I just lost interest in party. I love to party still, but that would be more like if it's happened during the day or something like that. But still, I would not drink because I don't feel the need of alcohol at all. So that's for myself. And no, it's just like I like to focus on like having a hobby that make me healthy, a hobby that make me money, and a hobby that keep me creative. So I spend a lot of time also writing comedy. I do stand-up comedy. We met there.
You're very good, by the way.
Thank you. I have also the business, but then also I practice Muay Thai. I go to the gym. I read a lot. I will hang out with a lot of friends. I love to do tons of different activity, and I love to explore. So I keep doing all that, and then my business have to adapt to my lifestyle, and not the opposite.
So talk us through your typical day. Like, how many hours are you working on your business?
I'm not really counting the number of hours, but I'm starting to do it now. But let's say I would wake up around 5:30 to 6:30, and then go straight to work. My office is just in another room in my condo. I get all the ideas that I had during the night or when I woke up and things like that, and then I start to work on that. Breakfast, work a little bit more, and then after I will read for 1 hour, then to the gym or Muay Thai or whatever it is that day. Back home, shower, go for lunch with a friend. I try to never eat alone. That's something that is pretty important for me, and I mostly eat outside. So yeah, go for lunch, and then afternoon, it can really depend. Sometimes I have like Monday, Tuesday will be more like managing my team and having some business calls, but then the rest of the week, it can be doing plenty of different stuff, going to some cafes. Thursday afternoon, for example, I always do something outside the computer or everything. So that could be like go to a museum, go try some what's it called, we try like wakeboard or whatever activity it is. Yeah, and in evening, whatever comes.
So that sounds like a lot of activities. How do you stay motivated? How do you not just say, oh, I'm just going to watch TV for 4 hours?
I don't know. I just love to be in the action, and I was too passive when I was young. So I guess that's what drives me. Like when I was younger, my life was not as easy and things like that, and then I was just getting through life. You know, I was just like moving, but like I was not active in my life. And then today I have more happiness that comes from being active. Yeah.
What advice do you have for anyone who wants to come over here and do what you're doing and live the life that you're living?
I would really recommend to try to go out there and connect with people, because for me that's what helped me a lot on my journey. Is like in the end it all comes down to the people and who you're surrounded by, and then if you have the good people surrounding about you that are good friends, you can achieve a lot. And then I'm not only talking about achieving in business, it's also in life and in your own growth.
So what are your friends like?
Well, most of my friends are entrepreneurs actually.
Yeah?
But yeah, they end up being like that because for example, one of my best mates, Julian, I met him in Colombia. And then of course, like to be able to meet someone in Colombia that's going to be able to live in Thailand and things like that, they have to do similar things to you. They cannot. And then if you start to move like that, you're going to meet people who are the same as you. And then we slowly, actually, most of my best friends here, we started to settle down in Thailand as well.
Are you here for the long haul, or you're here for a couple of years and then you're gonna go somewhere else?
Oh no, it's the long haul. This is home. Like I have 5-year visa, so.
You have the elite visa?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're here for a long time then?
I mean, if after 2 years I want to leave, I will leave. I will not keep a decision from the past holding me for what I want to do today. But for now, I mean, I just love Thailand. I love Bangkok. It's the right city for me.
Any regrets in life?
Regrets in life, yeah. Not starting earlier.
You sound like a successful guy, right? So like, what skills do you need? Does someone need to be as successful as you at 29? If I ask you what your top 3 skills,
top 3 skills,
what separates you from everybody else?
I would say a strong desire for learning. That's really important. You have to keep learning. Everything around you is evolving, so keep learning, moving on this. Being disciplined. You're here. Life is a lot cheaper for a lot of different activities you could do. And then if you don't have the discipline for this, it's not going to work. And then I don't know, to know yourself, take time to learn about yourself, know who you are, like what's working for you, what's not working for you. Because we have a lot of videos online, right? It's like, oh, the 5 habits you should do if you want to be this or things like that. But not all this might not work for yourself, but try some things, see what's working, see what's actually making you happier on the long term and not just the short term, and then continue with that, yeah.
What are your future plans?
Future plans? I want to grow still in stand-up comedy, so probably go to the US and try to do it there. That's going to be, if I keep interest in it, yeah, that's going to be something in 2 or 3 years. Grow my company, like I said, like now we are launching a new software to do portfolio management, and that's really exciting for me because I've been wanting this for 5 years, and yeah, that's mostly the 2 main things I'm going to work on for the next few years.
What have been your biggest failures?
Biggest failures?
Nobody ever likes to talk about their failures.
I like to talk about my failures.
Go on. What were your biggest failures?
Which one would be the biggest? Or probably, yeah, first, like, the biggest failure you can have is to not start something you wanted to do. Because you don't know what could have been the result. Because that's where you fail, right? And that's the most important thing. And then, so there was I wanted to launch some e-commerce back then when I was much younger, around my 20s. I didn't do it. Then I wanted to launch a website to talk about, it was a long time ago, Netflix was not available in France at that time, but it was available in the US, and I knew some ways to get it. And then actually this could have been a good source of income to do that. And then I didn't do it because I thought oh yeah, my spelling in French is not as good, and then people will point it out at me, so I didn't do it. This I didn't like. And then after, I don't know, I think I address failure a lot differently those days. It's more like learning experience, because for example, I failed a lot on stage in stand-up comedy, but I didn't keep counting, right? It's like I learned from it. It's like, okay, I check back the footage. What went wrong? What could I change next time? And that's how it goes, yeah.
So you seem to be a guy that is not afraid to get out of his comfort zone?
Well, it's hard at the beginning. It's hard to get out of your comfort zone. Like first when I started to travel by myself, I was worried and stuff like that, and then talking with some friends, it's like, oh man, it's good for yourself. This most of things that you're going to remember happen out of your comfort zone. And then when you start to realize that, you're like, oh wow, fuck yeah, I need to get out a lot more. And it's always scary. It's always scary. It's always something new. But the more you do it, the bigger your comfort zone becomes. and then you have like some difference in some nuance, so it's become easier. Like for example, going on stage the first time, it's bloody scary. It's like, what's gonna happen? And then you do it again, and then again, and then it's just become like talking to you now. Not as much because it's really different, but still.
How do you feel with the cameras around you?
I'm okay with cameras. I've been training myself a lot with this. Like, so I do YouTube as well. I kind of stopped doing YouTube, but yeah, as I was talking to you before the interview, I grew a channel in French. Probably gonna start another one in English. And then also I love to do Instagram stories. It used to be Snapchat, but now it's Instagram stories, because actually a skill that we should have talked about, I didn't mention before, is storytelling.
Oh yeah, I love that one.
Yeah,
that's why I started this channel.
Yeah, storytelling. Yeah, I think that's one skill you need to master in life, because that's going to help you a lot to communicate with people, communicate your ideas. It's going to help in so many different areas. So yeah, when I do Instagram stories, it's like,
I was literally an hour ago making my resume, and I was thinking, what am I going to put on my resume? And I was just like, storytelling. It's going on that resume.
Yeah,
because for me, storytelling, I don't know, it's in my heart or something like that. I love a story. I mean, it's the reason why I'm doing this right now.
Yeah, that's
you're
beautiful.
the same,
yeah,
because you're doing comedy, so it's the same kind of thing. You're telling a story, you're telling jokes.
Yeah, yeah, and it's the same in business. Like if you want to make someone to do something, and then or to help them in one way or another, like if you give an advice to a friend, you're not just gonna say like, do this. You're gonna tell him a story. What happened to you? What happened to someone? Because this is how we evolve. That's how human we help ourselves to survive. Because like we went to the bush, and then behind the bush we see the mammoths and the tiger. That's the thing. Like, so I guess that's why we like stories and we need them.
All right, cool. You're an inspirational fella. I like talking to you, and I wish you all the best. I can tell you're switched on.
All right, thanks, I appreciate that.
You're clever dude, yeah. Best of luck.
It's bloody sauna in here.
It's hot in here. We turn off the aircon. People were complaining
Don't
about
do
the
that
sound.
in Thailand.
Turn off the aircon. Anyway, we'll see you on the next one, folks. Subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and leave us a comment. Cheers.